What would you do in this position right here? It's not super easy. So basically, we have to know what white's plan here is in this opening here, and it's to play f4. It's like a stone wall, basically. So now, usually I have a bishop on b7, and I can play this move, and there's not a pawn here, because that would actually protect the e4 square again. But now I don't. So if I play knight here to e4 right away, I'll lose a pawn. So here I castled, which is actually a mistake. Now try to find a better move than that, with the idea of f4 is what white wants to play. Now, the best move is actually g6. And g6 keeps you in the game because after a move like f4, we have a bind on f5. So now you can castle safely with a clear conscience. And even if, let's say, white gets rid of the bishop as a clearance move, and we'll just like waste a move here, and he plays g5, trying to set this up. Well, now you have 2 pawns here. So you're totally fine. And that's what white wants to do here. So here in this position, I castled. Now this game is against a student of mine, or a previous student of mine, a former student, who I haven't had in a couple of years, but I trained him for about a year, a little over a year. And he's an all-around great guy. His name's Colby, and we still keep in touch, and we still play occasional chess here and there to this day. And so here he plays c3. It's a good move. Now, I showed this in the thumbnail. I didn't play bad in this game. Now, I played at 81%, 82%, and Colby here almost played 90%, which is excellent. His rating is 1,300 and about 1,350, but he's stronger than that, and he played as a 2,100 rated player according to the computer in this game. So very impressive by Colby. He's coming a long way. So here I take. So this is a mistake too, because I'm getting rid of the bishop pair. Now this knight was really frustrating me, and I can't take with the knight because he takes back and forks these 2 pieces. So again, I should have probably just played something like rook e8, and after f4, just knight back here, and then try to attack at some point or defend and hold on and see what white wants to do. Maybe play g6 and just be patient. But I couldn't be patient, and I just simply took, which is a mistake. And now I should have played knight e8 even. I still have a chance to get back in the game. Just play knight e8 and then f6 and break open the position and then play from there, and then go for a central break. So in other words, something like, let's say white castles, something like this, and play something like that. Get a nice central break. I'm threatening to come here, so white would have to play e4 himself, and then we have a pretty even chess game. Maybe white's slightly better. However, I played knight e4. I just had to show my dominance over my student. And here, Colby, my student Colby, or former student Colby, made me pay for it. Because yes, I am dropping a pawn, but I was like, yeah, I'll figure it out. Things will work out for me. And you can never play chess like that, because you have to take each move very seriously, and you can't just let your rating play for you, okay? Because you're going to play against a talented person who has a lower rating. The rating doesn't mean anything. It's just a reflection of how well they've been doing in the past, or their performance against other players. But as you can see, Colby here is very talented, and he makes me pay for this bad decision. So now he's down. I'm down a pawn. Not only that, he has the bishop pair on me. So for these reasons, I'm actually losing already. Now, did I think I would lose the game here? No. Did I thought I was, still, I was worse, but I'll figure something out. It's not the end of the world. So I play f4. Okay. I'm blocking the bishop. So if he decides to not en passant, I'm always blocking this bishop. So if he just comes back, I did a good job of blocking the light square bishop. Not to mention the dark square bishop's blocked by this pawn. So I effectively shut down his bishop pair. So that was my idea, and I thought that was a pretty good idea. And if he does do en passant, which is what he did correctly, well, at least I'll get another piece into the game, and we'll go from here. Now, he plays queen c2. Again, development, simple chess. Develop all your pieces with threats if you can. So he develops his queen with a threat, and I play h6, which is fine. He castles long, which is a good move, and I shut down the dark square bishop. Now here, Colby goes to open up the game, which is really smart. Now, my queen is on the F file, and he's threatening to open up the F file, which means rooks are going to be hammering down on my queen, so that's good. So I take, and he takes back with the bishop, which is good. Again, if he takes with the pawn, he'd be closing the F file he was just trying to open, so that would be kind of counterproductive. But however, he correctly takes with the bishop. Also, I should note that if he took with the pawn, not only would that close the F file, but it would close his bishop out of the game. His bishop would have to find, a new diagonal. Not the end of the world, but why do that? And here I played knight c5 to attack the bishop. Now the bishop's defended, but the whole point is I want to get rid of the bishop pair. The bishop pair is an advantage. I'm down a pawn as it is. I don't want to be down another advantage, which is, strategically having, my opponent having the bishop pair. So he really can't stay on this diagonal. Like if he comes back here, I still grab it. So I was thinking maybe he would just play back here. And after bishop f5, he has to move the queen. And now I'm really in the game. Now I can play queen e6, hitting this pawn. I'm digging into his position. I felt like, okay, he's not going to see this. This is kind of advanced, strategic, nuanced chess. And I'm going to take over the game. No offense to Colby, but I'm going to beat him again. It happens. I'm the teacher here. He's the student. So that's the role. That's how it's supposed to go, right? Well, hold on a sec. So I attack the bishop, and he plays bishop h7 check. That is an outstanding move, and I'll show you why. Because he wants to play bishop d6. If he plays bishop d6 right now, hitting the rook and the knight, so it's a fork, I can get out of it by taking the bishop. And if he takes my rook, you might be saying I just lost the exchange. Well, I don't take back, because then I'll be dropping a piece, or dropping the exchange. I would hit him with bishop f5. So now setting up a really dangerous discovery, protecting my knight, first of all, setting up a discovery, very dangerous one on his queen, and after he moves his queen, then I'll grab the bishop, and now I'm the one winning the chess game. I thought he would fall for it. I thought he would, slip into that. That looks like a reasonable thing. And but he has been working on his chess, and he has improved, and he played bishop h2. What's the difference here? After I move my king, now he plays bishop d6, and there's no knight takes bishop because there's no bishop there. How can I do that? So now I'm in a true fork. Now, I can't move my rook and completely lose my knight. That would be silly. So, for that reason, I just moved my knight, and I lost the exchange. So now I'm down the exchange, and I'm down a pawn. Not a good position to be in. Again, I figured, not to be cocky or arrogant, but I'll still figure it out. I'm like, 700 or more points rated higher than my student. I should be able to take care of this. And then rook f1 comes. So rook f1, hitting my queen. Okay, I move out of the way. And now just bishop e4. Very nice move. Just making sure he doesn't get trapped, in the future. And now I play bishop g4, hitting the rook, and mainly just developing, getting my piece into the game. And then it also gives me a tempo to get my rook into the game. So after his rook moves, I can get my rook into the game. But first, I want to get my knight back into the game. So I get my knight back. And my student plays, or former student, rook f2, doubling the rooks. I should also notice I do not think at all that he cheated. I can attest that that he would definitely not. Colby's an honorable man. He would not do that. So before you guys say, well, he probably cheated. He's playing too many good moves. Absolutely not. No. He's just been working on his chess. He's very good, and he concentrated in this game. And this was a long game, time-wise. So, all right, I play knight c5, hitting the bishop. Again, trying to get rid of that light square bishop because it's very annoying. It's controlling so many squares. And particularly to my king, it also complements his queen. It's, they're forming a battery. If they ever switch around like this, that would be even worse. So I want to get rid of it. So now he just defends with his rook and hits my bishop. I move my bishop back. He plays b6, b3, because, again, every time I defend, I really attack something. So I was aiming at here. Would I actually have taken that? I could get stuck if I take it. So, but I also have a knight here. So basically what would happen is if he didn't see that, I could take, and if he tries to trap my bishop, I can take because my knight's protecting. So for that reason, he saw that I was mixing defense and attack. And this is something I taught him, early on when we were going over stuff years ago. And he notices after every move, always look for your opponent's threat. So even though I made a defensive move, he was attacking me. It's very easy to get tunnel vision and say, oh, good. He moved there as a defensive move. Now it's my turn. Well, no. So I moved. Yes, it is a defensive move, but I also mixed in a threat with that. So he saw it. Excellent. And now I have nothing to do. So first I get rid of that bishop. That bishop was annoying. And now I move out of the pin. And Kobe attacks my queen. Now I played bishop d5 here. Blocking that attack. Looks like I'm attacking his rook. I'm really not because I can't move my bishop because my queen will go. But I did this move because I wanted to entice him to play c4, which looks good because he's pinning my bishop to the queen already, and now he's attacking my bishop. So, however, I wanted to entice him to play that because that would be a blunder because I would have a couple different things here, but basically I would take the rook, and after he takes, I would take, and now I pretty much evened out the game. I just have to get this pawn here, which shouldn't be too much trouble. He should play something like this and just hold on to it. If he tries to make things double-edged, I take, he takes, I throw in a check, and after he moves away, I take another pawn, and I am forking these two pawns, so I'm back in the game. Okay, so here, though, he plays rook d4. Excellent move, very poised. I grab a pawn. So now I'm no longer down a pawn, but I'm down the exchange. He goes for my bishop, and I retreated all the way back to g8. And now he pins my bishop, also going for a rook trade. There's really nothing I can do to save the rook, so I have to trade it off. And now I just throw in a check and grab another pawn. And here's where I was starting to feel pretty good because, yeah, Kobe was outplaying me, but now I'm at least up a pawn. I'm down the exchange, but I'm up a pawn. But that's not really the problem. The problem is my bishop's pinned, and the only move that allows me to move out of the pin to move my bishop is king h7. However, the queen's stopping that. And if I try to move my pawn here to get my king to g7, that's just absolutely too loose of a move. My king is way too loose. It's already too loose as it is. And I'm going to get probably checkmated pretty quick. Okay, so rook d7, that's where the rook belongs on the 7th rank, just where it attacks a lot of pawns. I throw in a check, try to confuse matters here. Now, this is also a good move because if I go for a trade, I'm bringing the king in closer, not to mention, well, the king wants to be closer in the endgame, but not to mention the rook versus bishop. This is just game over, a very easy game. And then, Kobe would start picking off pawns and just easily beat me. So I have to avoid that trade, so I just did. He was also threatening checkmate if I moved somewhere else. So if I moved like up here, that's game over on the spot. So I avoid the trade, defend mate, and go for this pawn. So again, you want to mix a lot of ideas, more than 2 ideas if you can in one chess move. That move does. He takes a pawn, I take a pawn with check. He comes back here, and I play queen b8. He plays rook c7, attacking this pawn. And here is where I could have possibly got back into the game, but I just simply missed the tactic. It's actually a hard tactic to spot because it looks really funny, but see if you can pause your videos and see how black can pick up a pawn here. Now that was a pretty big hint, but the move here is bishop takes c4. Now, you might be saying, how does that work? Well, it just wins a pawn because there's 2 ways to take back. And if white takes back like this, his king is open. I have a fork, check, winning the rook. And the same thing, if the queen takes, now the king is open to checks on the second file. So then we would have check and winning the rook again, and I'd be winning the game. So that was a good tactic. I missed it. I threw in a check here, and I threw in another check. And Kobe wisely just hides his king here. Now it's really hard to get any type of counterplay, any type of checks. And he's also attacking 2 pawns here. This one's defended right now by the queen, but this one's not. And I can't really come back here to defend both of them, because if I do, I'm leaving my king behind, which is more important than pawns. So I'm in what is called a dilemma right here. I play queen c5 check. He blocks, so improving his position as he's blocking. Now I'm really in trouble. Now I kind of saw that my fate was kind of sealed. He takes this pawn. He takes this pawn. Really nice move. So I'm actually pinned here. I can't take. This pawn is pinned. He spots that and plays rook takes h6. Nice tactics by Kobe. I have to block. He comes back. He's trying to protect both his pieces, I think. He doesn't want to mess anything up. And he also, I think, wants to maybe like put his queen in front of his rook at some point. Okay. I don't know what to do right now. I'm just moving around, hopefully waiting for him to make a mistake. He goes for a queen trade, which I do not go for. And now he puts his queen in front of his bishop, like I said he would. It's also threatening checkmate. That's why he's doing that, I should say. My only defense to this that's reasonable is to come here. And now, what would you play here? It's not the best move, but honestly, for the computer does not think this is the best move, but it's the best move for a human because it's the most straightforward way to win the chess game. And that's what he played. Pause your videos. Try to find what the most straightforward way, easiest way to win here is. It's actually queen takes h7, which I didn't even see. And after I take back, this pawn is queening before this pawn. It's mathematically impossible to stop. I will show you a calculation trick. I will link it at the end of this video. How do you calculate very simply, very quickly, which pawn's going to queen faster when there's other stuff going on the board? It's a good video. Anyway, in this position, I played one more move and resigned because there's no way I'm stopping his pawn from queening. And if I try to go for a race, his pawn is going to beat mine. Anyway, congrats to Kobe. And if you like that video, check out this one. Very helpful for calculation. I'll see you guys next time. Go play some chess.